To forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. We are successful, and we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
SARS-like virus. The flu-like mystery illness first reported in China, already spreading to Japan and Thailand.
The global community is very familiar with what has happened with SARS in the past, and this is something that is on our radar.
Now federal officials south of the border are on alert. Some American airports have begun screening passengers flying from central China for the virus that has killed 2 people and sickened dozens more.
We're screening passengers returning from Wuhan into the United States because we want to detect this virus early. The earlier we detect this virus, the better we'll understand it, and the better we'll be able to protect people. CDC will be deploying close to 100 people by this weekend to help support the staff in those areas.
Keep up at this point. I'm in New York City. I'm a travel nurse from Arkansas, and I'm having a really hard time for sure. I decided to come to the bathroom and just let it out a little bit.
Big booty, what you got a big booty. Big booty, what you got a big booty. Big booty, what you got a big booty.
Baby, come give me something, oh. I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody.
Coronavirus!
Queens, New York. Welcome to ground zero in the coronavirus pandemic, a war zone, according to many, on the front lines, working diligently around the clock to save lives in limbo because of the deadly coronavirus.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big dish. Like I should, spinning circles, walk around the
to kicking this virus. It's not a pill or a potion. It's about your will and devotion. The virus wants us to lay down. The virus wants us to take it. Other than the blessed few, the rest of us who get this are going to have an experience unlike anything else they've ever had. Days and waves. The old notion of get in bed and stay there when you get sick, it sounds great. And if you're really up against it, you need to do as little as possible. I've been there. Trust me, I know. But you can't stay there. Now I am wise to the beast and its ways. It changes.
Yet another famous personality is revealing her battle with COVID-19. This time it's Khloe Kardashian.
Vomiting and shaking and hot and then cold, and I suffer from migraines, but this was the craziest headache.
Khloe has now recovered.
Went on to say that the virus is, quote, real.
That's real. But we're all gonna get through this. Pray, and if we follow orders and listen, we're all gonna be okay.
Wash your hands, practice good hygiene, and wear a mask.
Stay safe, speak your mind, and I might sound like a broken record, but wear a mask. It's a sign of respect.
No, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad. No, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
Fauci to suggest that coronavirus can be carried on droplets a distance of 27 feet.
This could really be terribly misleading, John. What it was looking at the distance that droplets fly by speaking, by coughing, by sneezing. So if you go way back and go, achoo, and go like that, you might get 27 feet.
I really like the way you put that. I'm going to plagiarize you later on in the day. If you don't mind. And sisters who have it as well as we do.
I love that when you're talking about the developing world, you say we. That if we don't look at this as one world fighting this together, then we really won't get a handle on it the way that we have to. I mean, that's the dream scenario for me.
It might be dream, but it's what we really need to do.
Way back and go, achoo.
To say much about this, but were you aware of this? Is that accurate?
Some people say Brussels sprouts taste good.
I don't get the reference.
I hate Brussels sprouts.
You don't want to talk about this?
Institute of Directors, the CBI, the British Chambers of Commerce, R3, the Insolvency and Restructuring Professionals Trade Association, and of course, the Trade Union Congress as well. And some of the measures will have retrospective effect, so as to provide as much relief to businesses as possible. And where this is the case, we have already announced dates from which the measures will start. So let me turn to corporate restructurings.
With so many people who are remembering Floyd, former NBA player and Texas native Steven Jackson calls Floyd a brother.
George Floyd is being projected in the space that used to be occupied by a Confederate statue. The hologram is the first major initiative of the George Floyd Foundation. It's also scheduled to appear at sites where Confederate memorials have been removed in North Carolina and Georgia as well.
Alrighty then.
Yes, but you have talked about how you and George were like twins, quote unquote twins, because you look so much alike. George were like twins, quote unquote twins, because you look so much alike.
In some states, there's less than 200 cases. In many states, there's less than 200 cases right now. You're saying even in those states, the same kind of shutdown needs to occur?
Well, let's say you have 100 cases, and let's say you don't do a shutdown, then it grows 33% per day. 33%.
Can I just ask you about schools, because everyone is so curious and worried about this. You have 3 kids. You know how schools work. I mean, 3 kids. You know how schools. 3 kids. You know how schools.
I'm not saying that this is not an end zone dance. I'm just saying.
Doctor, what was the impact of your statement locally that it was televised locally?
Doctor, what was the impact of your statement locally?
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shots. Mr. President, how old is
truth? You know, there's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
All right, thank you, doctor. I don't think so, Tim. Perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president. We're not worthy! We're not worthy! A day ago from Walter Reed Medical Center, I spent 4 days there and didn't have to, but I spent 4 days there and I went in, I wasn't feeling so hot, and within a very short period of time, they gave me Regeneron. It's called Regeneron, and other things too, but I think this was the key. But they gave me Regeneron, and it was like unbelievable. And now they call them therapeutic, but to me, it wasn't therapeutic. It just made me better, okay? I call that a cure. I want everybody to be given the same treatment as your president. Hell no! One thing with me, the nice part, I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and
It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
Next morning, and I felt like Superman. I wanted to rip my shirt off. Just like Clark Kent. Anybody ever hear of Clark Kent? Just like the legendary Clark Kent.